Hello everyone and welcome to your horoscope for the week of June the 24th till 30th, 2024. Now this week may hold a tiny bit of potential of respite, a tiny little bit of rest perhaps, but not perhaps in the realist and in the sense that we would need. So I'm not actually saying that we are gonna have a break from everything that is affecting us right now, externally speaking, or in our personal lives, karma, and also our push forward into our futures, our works, it really, really depends on the individual. Some people are working on big closures, others on to refine something, to make something grow, to reinvent something. Others need a new beginning. Others need to find themselves or fig. So you know what I mean? Every person with their own journey. And this is the period where I would very much be surprised and, be full of doubt if there was someone who is not experiencing reality itself, life itself, in its integrity, as a kind of symbolically like an alchemical journey or a kind of adventure, which doesn't necessarily have to be physical or in a very material sense, intellectual adventure, learning adventure, especially for students, um, spiritual, philosophical, inner adventure, inner discovery, especially for those who are strongly connected to the world of arts. So, everyone is busy with something if we don't necessarily look at it from a material perspective, because some business is not necessarily on one hand material, but I would go as far as to say not necessarily earthly, you know. For example, holding the frequency. That is not an easy task, not an easy job, but it is a job. But you may not necessarily see how it happens in a logical, rational, down to earth, real way. However, it is there. And for example, holding a frequency is not just something deeply metaphysical. In a way, it's absurd because it's not real, right? Well, it can be very, very real. Let me just give you a very up-to-date example. Let's say a certain organization or even a certain country, a certain nation who is holding like diplomatic talks, peace talks. It is like an arbitrary nation between two in conflict. Well, that nation is not even a person, a nation. It is holding a state, holding a frequency that takes effort, that takes time, that takes energy, basically, regardless if it's psychological energy, physical energy. You're having to fire up neurons, thinking, speaking, figuring things out. I would go as far as even worrying about certain things in an anticipation way. All of that use like proper physical energy in our neurons, and anything more Piscean than that, well, it's obvious. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes holding frequency is a monumental task. Or let me give you a totally different example. There is conflict in the family. It doesn't matter why, how, the specifics. You happen to be, or maybe someone else, you or someone else, is that person, is that soul, is that individual in the family who is holding the peace somehow, who is preventing the conflict from escalating, from things from snapping. That's holding the frequency, and that is a very hard and soliciting and quite Piscean absolutely task in itself. So the reason why I have to mention all of this is because, as I say, there might be a moment of respite in certain things in our lives, but not really from the journey. It just takes a different, let's say, feeling. Why? Well, because two very important energy shifts take place at the very end of the week. Actually, one, because the other one, technically speaking, goes into the week after, and that is Saturn on the 29th or 30th of June, standing still in the sky, going retrograde. But in real life, well, it won't really move much for a good few days. I would even go as weeks. It won't move all that much. And Neptune prepares the same motion on the 2nd of July, but basically, technically speaking, at the end of this week, around the 30th, 29th, 30th, both of these planets are simply standing still in the sky, preparing to go retrograde, preparing to move backwards. So their symbolism is greatly amplified. The emphasis is really, really on what they represent and what they bring to the table. And this is where retrograde, especially Saturn retrograde, yes, absolutely. The overall sensation that we do need to place down and initiate the new, or better said, just the initiation phases of whatever it is that we have or do in our lives, that kind of stops and transforms into either holding something down phase, as in all I have to do for a couple of, let's say, months is to hold it down, to, be stable as best as I can. This is an example. Or to start building on something that was initiated already, starting roughly from last year's winter until the present. So, or better said, from the spring to the present, because last year's winter and as in December, January, February, were more like Saturn going back on its shadow path. So it didn't cover new ground. It actually started covering new ground more from March, so to speak. So right now, with this standing still in the sky and then the retrograde, Saturn stops, you know, building to initiating for the future and goes back into reconstruction mode. It evokes the past, it evokes things that might have happened, and they need a new step, a new phase. They need to be retaken either from this spring until the present, or it can, Pisces actually can represent the very distant past. So it's timeless. I know Saturn is time and Pisces is timeless. They're two like opposites. However, that's where it's Saturn's larger karmic effect, where it can actually make us close, retake, crystallize, reach a whatever, something that might have happened in the distant past, in the like childhood or anything like that, even previous lives with Neptune and Heretic in it. So this is where Pisces, the sign of Pisces, is going to be heavily activated in a retrograde sense. So it's going to be emphasized spirituality, religion, our unconscious, the collective unconscious as well. What is the collective unconscious? Secrets and certain feelings, energies, psycho-emotional, I'm not even sure how to describe it, a psycho-emotional energy that is representative of our unconscious. So secrets, the hidden, that which is under the veil of mystery or under the veil of, secrecy in any way, shape, and form. So You can imagine what's true and what's not true, what is lie, what is deception, what is truth, even though, especially when Neptune holds this movement, this motion, the stationary retrograde. You can imagine that it's where everything is subjective. Even that which is objective is subjective now. I can give you such a easy example from, my personal life, even though it's not strictly personal. Like, what is real? This and this financial law, which would, I don't know, ask from me as a citizen, just as a citizen, to do this and that to comply with the law. But in the meantime, if I actually come to the conclusion, Neptune, but also Saturn, the judge, that financial law is corrupt in the sense that it's ridiculous, or that it really, really doesn't reflect morality, equity in any way, shape, and form, well, you can imagine that everything changed already. That was which was objective, the law. The law means in a secular way, okay, Saturn, but Saturn is secular, that this is truth. This is what justice looks like in our human collective. However, Neptune and heretic Pisces, if it was revealed to me that, well, actually, the truth from a philosophical perspective is the opposite, well, then everything became infinitely subjective. Because doing the right thing, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anymore obeying blindly a law which is unfair. Doing the right thing must sometimes is going against that, or protesting against that, or expressing your revolt. You see how something strikingly objective became subjective. And in this day and age, especially our times, with quantum computing at its finest, that which is strikingly Newtonian, again, Saturn, the rules, the limitations, can be not all that much so after something is revealed, after something is discovered, after something is put out there. Again, Neptune, what is true, what is not true, what is theory, what is proven theory, if you want to call it like that. So you can imagine that this week will shift the energies into that. And with Saturn and Neptune, very karmic planets, both of them differently, very differently. However, as different as they are, they need each other. Neptune can simply not be real in any way, shape, and form. Neptune is just a dream without Saturn, and Saturn is meaningless. It is nothing in soul, in spirit, without Neptune. And in a certain way, the same goes for Jupiter. If you want to replace Neptune with Jupiter, it can be true in the same manner, just that Jupiter is a bit different than Neptune. Anyway, that's another story. So you see these two planets holding the same movement at the same time. This means that something is preparing itself in a big, big way. On one hand, without a doubt, part of it is going to unfold under the retrogrades. So Saturn's case, it starts on the June 29th and it lasts until November the 15th this year, of course. And Neptune's case, July the 2nd is when it officially starts, and it lasts until December the 7th. So that can be a period of reconstruction. in some cases, construction. Because, you know, this is where, especially in Saturn's case, if we have the blueprint already, then this retrograde is time to build it, keep on building it. And in Pisces, at least we know that we build it on whatever faith means for us personally. And we build it a tiny bit on spirit, regardless if that spirit is spiritual knowledge or faith itself, regardless if it's something artistic, philosophical. Why does philosophical matter? You know, just building a house without any higher intent, just for you to have a home, and that's it. That's so empty. That's so hollow. Building a house, but with a tiny bit of history that you want to write with it, or with a bit of, art or magic or meaning from the distant past. Let me give you, your great grandmother had something unique. You want the same type of house or what she lived through, or a place, or that's already magical, that's already Piscean, that's already from the past, that's already a big meaning. So meaning is so subjective and illusionary, however, exactly Neptune, but it makes all the difference. So meaning will make it magical, and it will definitely gonna make it a home, a real home, where just buying a house and looking at the practicality of it, the price and what's in it, I'll adapt to the rest. That's not as much magical. That's more like Virgo, the opposite of Pisces. And Virgo is going to matter this week as well, because all through the week we have an opposition between this energetic Neptune, which is now also stationary. So very powerful. And Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, the same degree, 29 degree in Virgo. So you know what I mean. This is like an aggressive energy, but again, in a good, if this is even in the best sense possible, why? Both Black Moon Lilith and Virgo, what's real? And in Black Moon Lilith's perspective, everything is real that she as in us, the inner animal, okay, let's say it like that, can rely upon. Like, let me give an example. If you give the kitten milk consistently every day at the same hour, the kitten will rely upon that after a few goes of this. So that is what Black Moon Lilith and Virgo is seeking, to rely upon something real. And real is that which is repeating, or you know what I mean. She doesn't care how rational it is, because this is a irrational power in the sign of rationality. So, she doesn't matter. The Mercury factor will not matter as much. What matters is how real and reliable it is. Neptune, on the other hand, comes with the opposite. The spirit, the dream, the fantasy, the big meaning, just the meaning. The meaning is everything to Neptune. And the two will reach a balance, will reach a compromise, because they are facing off each other, opposition. And that's the bad side of this energy. Nothing is good enough. Expectations, spiritualized expectation, the most dangerous possible combination of all. That's sheer madness that we do to ourselves. The other and bad side of it, escapism, but when it's just madness, it's madness. It's not higher meaning, it's just madness. The other side of it, I necessarily want to be the victim. Well, then everything in your life will reflect the victim. Every step you take will disadvantage you. Why? Because this energy is strongly manifestory. And this will last all throughout the week, of course. So, but let's see the good side. Um, I don't care how much mercurial, logical, mathematical, Newtonian, get what I mean, sense something makes, because I can rely upon a certain logic that even though I don't understand it, I know it's true, I know it works, I have faith in it. That's already a big power. Or Neptune. I I feel this hope so strongly in my gut, even Virgo. I don't care if it's impossible, technically or mathematically speaking, I am open to it. I believe it because I feel it. I feel it so strongly that I believe. There you go, a positive expression of this energy. Or, the collective insanity. What's true, what's not true? Who is lying? Who is deceiving? Who is the victim? Who is the aggressor? And just look at the world stage. It's not just the obvious two, I can't even call them countries, but not just the obvious conflict, but every country, every nation has this in their own unique way within them, within their country playing out right now. May it be political, economical, cultural, religious, ethical, or much worse than all of this. I don't even want to mention those, but we have it. We have this playing out. So you can imagine what is true. Nothing. So better you give meaning to everything that you live. And you're entitled. In the sense that this is where let's not seek the objective truth in things that are unfolding before our eyes, because chances are there is none. It's more than enough for us to feel something solid, crystalline faith that burns within our heart or our gut, or this is the best possible expression of this black moon Lilith and Neptune opposition, because it can be like a rubber ducky. Maybe a rubber ducky doesn't do all that much when there is a tsunami oncoming, but in most cases the rubber ducky does help. It gives you a sense of security. So yeah, but let us begin the week. So we begin the week with the full knowledge that Saturn and Neptune are going to change directions. So their symbolism is greatly amplified. Saturn, we might see restrictions. I know that there's going to be a trine between Mercury and Saturn this week, because Mercury will get to that 29 degree of Cancer. So that is a water trine between these two planets. But even the trine can mean restriction of opinion, of speech, because the trine can favor the Saturnian side. And if the Saturnian side, top-down authority or the lawmakers, say that certain opinions, expressing certain feelings, Mercury and Cancer feelings, speaking them out, is not okay, well, then there might be a restriction of the freedom of speech, especially that Saturn is standing still. So that is very much possible. And Pluto conjuncts the moon at the beginning of the week, so there's we're reacting emotionally to something, especially collectively speaking, because Aquarius or politics are ongoing big time. Political manipulation of the masses, because the moon is the collective emotion, Aquarius is the politics, Pluto is the power and the big guys. But let's move on. On the 26th, well, this is where we have Venus in the sign of Cancer, She's very good. She's comfortable, happy there. But she does square the North Node in the sign of Aries. Well, again, it's hard. We need to succeed. We need to, North Node in Aries, fight for our sovereignty, our dreams, our goals, our freedom, our projects, find our sense of direction, find ourselves, heal ourselves, get to that personal state of being where we can do certain things that we cannot in the present because of limitations or wounding. All of what Aries has in it right now, planet and energy wise. So Venus, the feeling, it's hard getting there. Hard because family, children, duties of parents, duties towards family, local community not being very okay. It's hard because it is hard. Or hard because Venus in Cancer. You could do so very well on your project and whatever that North Node in Aries is for you right now, personally, but you're alone. You're lonely. You're unnurtured emotionally. You don't feel loved. Venus in Cancer. No one says it's only the good things. The lack of the good things of the honey, well, that's, especially when there's a square. Yeah. So there's also that. Do not worry all that much because soon, not necessarily this week, but the week that comes, Venus will trine Saturn. That is going to be like an opposite. Your wisdom, your maturity, your determination, understanding your duties towards the self, finding balance, all your efforts that you are investing right now to overcome this square are gonna pay off handsomely in so very many different ways. This is also a karmic energy. You are busy as it can get your life, North Node in Aries. And surprise, surprise, something comes from the past, something from family, uh, something happens to someone you love, and like it or not, you want to be there, but your life gets harder and more complicated. But imagine your actions, what you do in the name of love. Simply said, that's it. What you do in the name of love and compassion uh, will be self-rewarding next week. So I'm not even gonna focus all that much on this energy because Mercury hold the same square and the Sun is gonna hold the same square with the North Node. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. And the best way to understand this energy, we need to fight for the self, Aries. Yep. But we also need to fight for our roots or community or family or Cancer. So, both the self counts, but everyone else who matters to the self or is part of the self's universe will also count the same. So it's hard in that sense, but this is the good hard. How was that quote? Something like this, that struggle is the building material of legends, or that which is legendary, of heroes, something in this. So that is exactly what this energy means in a more elevated sense. But the good news is that Mercury actually trines Saturn. And remember, this is a very powerful Saturn right now. It's hard, but you can imagine how it helping your family, helping your children, helping community, or vice versa, them helping you. An energy of basically sharing something. helping, sharing resources, being there emotionally, karmically, spiritually, sharing family's hardship or family sharing your hardship feels like a bliss. Mercury, words, communication, being there, understanding, forgiveness, heart to heart, head to head talk, even that goes to the heart. That all of these are very, very empowered right now. And again, Saturn, especially in Pisces, well, this might be a moment, especially because it's stationary, that some karma gets real, but in a good sense. For example, a relative passed over a few weeks, months ago, and right now you had the doom and gloom and the sorrow, but now you get, for example, an inheritance, and that helps Saturn, or it might be even a surprise. That person left you something, or you get something that brings joy or the sensation of solidarity, and even truth seeking wise, this is really because something grounds your emotion. You may not understand any situation, especially if it's a collective one, from a very meticulous mercurial way, but you understand it emotionally. You know what I mean. So you feel a safety. You feel a sensation of being much more grounded and not as anxious. So this energy again can play out in so very many ways, and it is one of the nice parts of this week. And at the same time, speaking about Venus, okay, squaring the North Node that we understand, but Venus holds a sextile all week around. So this sextile will last and be pretty tight all through the week, beginning till end, with Venus and Mars. That's always a good, especially that Venus is the ruler of the sign, Mars is in Taurus. So this is a really, really beneficial, energy. Taurus is practical and concrete things. Venus and Mars. Well, Venus is what we desire. Mars is how we get what we desire, basically. Sextile between these two principles is we're working on something. We're getting somewhere, regardless of how. Because Mars and Taurus, whatever reality needs. And Venus in the sign of Cancer is where emotionally we are fueling that. We are supporting ourselves. Something is inspiring us, something is delighting us. Even if it's just an idea is more than enough to fuel this sextile, and we can accomplish it one way or another. This is really good for attraction and sensuality. Cancer is very romantic, nurture. For some people, for some archetypes, the most erotic or sexy, sensual expression possible is if someone cares for them, nurtures for them. Similar energies like a parent, because Cancer is the mother, nurturer, care, regardless of gender. I know it's a feminine energy, but right now everyone can give nurture, the breast, this, but symbolically. So for some archetypes, for some people, that is everything, basically. So for these archetypes, especially who get their kick from emotional, the good stuff, the honey, the affection, for example, this can be a good week. Another energy that is really delightful is that the North Node in Aries is conjunct dwarf planet Salasha, Neptune's wife, goddess of the salt water. If Neptune is the ocean, Salasha is the salt, the brine in it, a life-giving energy, a nurturing and protective, because Neptune, unleashed, can be the sea, always claims a sacrifice, a life, and this was like that from the very dawn of time, and is still like that right now. Will always only the seaman. Sorry, I just realized what I said. I'm sorry. The sea, how much seamen, the sailors, whatever, only they know the spirit of the sea. And they know its dark side as well. Sedna is exactly that. She demands lives, she demands sacrifice. It's basically takes out the life from your bones, that brine filled sea wind, or how you call that, the currents. So that's also part of the picture. That's Neptune. Salasha is exactly the guardian spirit here, because there's the harsh spirit of the sea, and but there is also that the mermaid, the good mermaid, not the mermaid who lures you in with her song, but rather the mermaid who is like a spirit guide, tells you how to overcome the challenges and trials of the sea, of course, symbolically speaking. And Salasha is actually queen of water deities, mermaids, naiads, oceanids, and stuff like that. So, and the North Node conjunct her. This is when, at least to me, when we get really, really reunited or united, or we embrace strongly, not just deeply emotionally speaking or spiritually, but also in the head, Aries, in a real way, a spiritual, as I said, either purpose of ours, a dream, a goal that has and always had. So it might not be something very new. It might be something that we were actually even born with. We knew it, we dreamed that, we had a feeling all of our lives, and now we embrace it more than ever. Because speaking about the husband, Neptune, in 2025, Neptune dips into Aries, where his wife is. And in 2026, Neptune and Saturn as well start their transit there, and they conjunct there. Okay, Salasha, it has not much to do yet with Salasha, but Salasha prepared the ground for her husband. In a realist way, again, Neptune can be very harsh himself. Aries is the sign of the warrior. The first keyword that comes to any astrologer's mind when I would say Neptune and Aries, spiritual warrior. Any warrior needs a bit of gentleness and morality, because otherwise they become spiritual brutes, or, you know, please excuse my bad analogy again, but in various types of holy texts and scriptures, even the creator, even the demiurge, overdone certain monstrosities. And you know what I mean? They were admirable, but they were still unique monstrosities, like Leviathan, like Cetus, like whatever behemoth or whatever mythical creature that was very unique, you want to say. So yeah, so Salasha prepares the ground for her husband Neptune not to do that. And why? Well, Aries gave the first sign, especially 0 degree Aries. That's creational power. So what does Neptune? um, it will create. Pisces is the ending, yeah, but Aries is the beginning. So, likes it or not, Neptune will be its more creational self, and fighting is already contributing to the act of creation. Like, why do animals fight? Territory, resources, or mates. Fight is fight. So, Salasha is making sure to make Neptune's path as gentle as it can possibly be. Moving on to the 28th here. Um, this is when Mercury, just a sec. Oh, this is a bit too big. So Mercury squares Chiron. Well, not an easy energy. But what happened under the last Mercury retrograde? When Mercury in April, when Mercury was also near the eclipse point, and then Mercury retrograde in Aries, what kind of happened? What came to your understanding? Or because this Mercury square might build on that understanding of our wounding. In Cancer, maybe that we inherited a part of our wounding, a certain flaws, weaknesses, or generational traumas that we carry from our ancestors. A big play out in that sense of this energy. And it doesn't need to be all that um, individual, because if we look at collectively, why certain explosions and wars and cleansings are taking place, or their justification, that's Mercury squaring Chiron. Mercury from Cancer squaring Chiron in Aries. What those people, or may they be historians, sociologists, people of the government, or just civilians, say why things are happening from their perspective, that's it. That's exactly it. Understanding the wound. Collectively understand it like that, speaking about it, but individually, of course, our soul searching. And yeah, so there is that. And also on this day, the moon is conjunct Neptune. So this is a relevant moment because they together oppose Lilith. Moon and Lilith are both lunar energies, emotional factors. So this is where something sinks in, because this moon immediately will move into Aries, 0. So on one hand, there's something shared on the world stage. On the other hand, we understand something in a very new way, the way we haven't done before, emotionally speaking. And something that I want to mention, all through the week, this transiting sun will one after another oppose the Capricorn objects, let's say like that. Ceres is going to be opposed later by the sun, but Ceres is going to be was opposed by Mercury and then um, Venus. So Ceres and Capricorn, that's the resources, understand it in any way, shape, and form, even food aid, humanitarian aid, Ceres nurture, grain harvest, Capricorn top-down authority, how much they give. Is it satisfactory or not? Regardless in which situation, even in your individual life. Like, put it into context. Maybe you have a business, you found out that the government gives a non-refundable loan, like a help in a way, if your business is, conditions, and you attempt it. Sun opposing Ceres. You see the terms and conditions, You see what you can do, what you cannot do, if you're eligible or not. This is series. But anyway, the sun opposing these Ixion, Pholus, and Quaoar in the sign of Capricorn. This is where these elements in our lives are going to be highlighted. Ixion, exactly my first example with certain laws that are ridiculous, that no longer reflect morality. Quite the opposite, but they're laws. Ixion. That's Ixion's highest expression, that it is your duty to go against something immoral that is enforced upon you. There it is. Pholus, where does curiosity lead us, both in a good way and a bad way? And Quaoar, dance, music, creativity, sound, frequency. What frequency does to us? And frequency, to be understood, it is almost like a tune, a background theme song that plays in our soul, a harmonic. We, some people, of course, especially those types of introverts who really embrace the lightheartedness of life, hear it all the time. For them, it's not just a symbolism or not just a state they can get into. They actually hear it all the time. The song of their the song of their soul, the music of their being. Of course, put this into universal context. The whole galaxy, cosmos, universe, multiverse, and the subatomic world, micro and macro as well, have their own song. This song reverberates everywhere in space and time. Anyway, you get what I mean. Sun opposing Quaoar, what in your everyday lives or around you in your habitat, Cancer, may it be house, or what, understand this in any way, takes away your vibe, your frequency, what disrupts your music, and what can you do to make your soul sing? Because this is an opposition, chances are put in headset or put something artificial in your ear and play an artificial tune. I'm not necessarily saying that there is anything wrong with that, but this opposition says, well, you're just deceiving yourself if you do that. If you want to listen to the music of your soul, all you need to do is reach silence of your being. And of course, the song of your soul will partially contain a reaction to the external sound. For example, being out in nature or total silence, that's also a kind of stimuli or the lack of it. Or living near a casino bar, that's also a stimuli. That also, for me, for example, oh my goodness. So the music of your soul and your being. And now you might say, well, sextiles and Saturn trine, well, this is really good, isn't it? Yes, but at the same time, there are certain minor astrological conversations that will annoy us and frustrate us and rub things in. You know, the annoyance factor and the, oh my goodness, I just want to be there yet, and there meaning an impossible future goal time-wise, you know what I mean? And for example, Mars semi-square Neptune, Mars in Taurus, the dream Neptune, I feel it, but why aren't things going quicker? Mars in Taurus. Or why, oh, let's not even say why. I have the best idea and I have everything figured out. I don't have them. Where's the money? Taurus. Where's the help? Or where's the boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife? I can't do this single. I need someone in my life, you know, frustration. Mercury semi-square Jupiter. Mercury in Cancer. Jupiter in Gemini. Actually, what am I? Yeah. Yeah, that's a semi-square. So Jupiter in Gemini. This also points to the fact Jupiter, law, truth. What is acceptable, morally speaking? What is the highest understanding of something? And that is can also be looked at law, legislation. Mercury in Cancer. Something is a big no-no for the collective, for the people. Cancer, what do people feel? Or ethnic conflict. And Jupiter in Gemini, social media, word, speech. So again, something is frustrating. Jupiter semi-squaring Chiron. Not a very easy energy because the wound and the need to understand the wound is expanded. But there is also a good energy at play, but that is gonna be felt a bit later on. So let's move there. Let me delete my drawings and move towards the 29th. When we have Mercury sextiling Uranus, which is a really, really good energy because this means epiphany. This means like really favorable communication. This means words and the emotions expressed with words get you a long way. This can mean love. This can mean romantic surprises or coming from family, generosity from family, support from family. Anything that basically makes a difference in a best possible way. And on the 29th or 30th, Saturn stands still in the sky and prepares to go backwards, followed by Neptune on the 2nd of July. So this is where a certain energy halts, either asking us to look back at the past or to start constructing where there was not so long ago, or at a point in the past an initiation and start constructing or rebuilding something, or something is sinking and stabilizing. We're reaching a certain understanding or balance, or all of this can be also karmic, and Neptune aneretic and stationary in its home sign of Pisces. This is so powerful that no living soul today has ever experienced this, and every astrologer's take on this, including mine and everyone else's, is just a guess, a good guess, because we don't know. This is an energy that we are experiencing and witnessing and studying as we speak. This is where the spirit was never this strong and influential. And we will, and I'm so sorry to say this, in the worst possible case, where some people, the craziness and the insanity that they will be sucked into or immersed into in whatever way imaginable or not, that's the bad part. But the good part is the spirit's miraculous force was never this strong, and that is compassion, Christ consciousness. All of us are one, empathy. So that's also the game. And something that is more like neutral, it's not even good or bad, nothing is real. This is when we see that reality, in any way, shape, and form, as dense as we want to go into it, it is just, you guessed it, a result of our perceptions, an illusion made real by the fact that we perceive it that way collectively. So I would like to leave it at this. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the love, all the support, all the beautiful words. And until next time, bye for now.